just because it's cryptocurrency and has, it's not, and it's has that name and it's not, a bank statement, and, it's not jewelry or car, it's still something that, you own. And in bankruptcy, you have to list any property you own anywhere and everywhere.
What happens to your cryptocurrency during bankruptcy? We're going to talk to attorney David Shuster about that on today's Ask the Lawyer. David, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Great to see you. So the cryptocurrency markets have been pretty volatile in the last year, and a large firm just filed for bankruptcy itself. Give us your insight about cryptocurrency from your experience as a bankruptcy attorney.
Well, as a consumer bankruptcy attorney, I started when I interview clients right away. We talk to the clients about, what's going on in your financial situation. What kind of assets do you have? I started noticing a couple of years ago, the clients would get through their story and then, rather hesitatingly, sometimes at the very end of the consultation, sometimes in the next conversation, they would tell me, oh, by the way, I don't know if I have to reveal this, but I have some cryptocurrency. Like, it's so cryptic that it's not a part of the conversation, right? So that's my exposure to it mainly in my work is just clients, when I file their consumer bankruptcies, going over their assets. They surprisingly larger number of clients and potential clients were just, despite not being investors, despite not having mutual fund accounts or money in the stock markets, just saying, hey, I have a savings account with $1,000 in it, and then I've got, 15,000 in cryptocurrency, and no retirement account at all. It's just, clients will, people are looking for a way to get rich quick. And so it seems like that's been what I've been exposed to, is just, people looking to better their situation. And then unfortunately, now it seems, these people are just, a lot of small investors have lost a really large amount of money.
Sure. So if a person is thinking about filing for bankruptcy and has a crypto account, what should they know?
Well, they should know that, that's included in your list of assets. You're just because it's cryptocurrency and has, it's not, and it has that name and it's not, a bank statement, and, it's not jewelry or car, it's still something that, you own. And in bankruptcy, you have to list any property you own anywhere and everywhere. That's part of the bankruptcy process. If you're asking for relief in bankruptcy court, then, you're swearing under oath, under penalty of perjury, that this is in fact all of your property that you own. And so that what they should know is, it's included in your list of assets.
So you kind of touched on this, but so what happens to crypto during bankruptcy? It just becomes another asset?
It's another asset that goes on their schedules. That's property that they own, and they have to disclose it. And if you don't disclose it, and you knowingly fail to disclose it, then you've committed a crime, basically. So they should just know that if they look, if they're needing relief from their creditors, from their debt, and they're needing to come into bankruptcy court to do that, where you can get a lot of great relief from your debt, you're entitled to that. Look, you got to make a fair and honest disclosure. So don't try to hide anything.
So how is a crypto account valued during bankruptcy? And what if it's a very volatile account?
That's a good question, because it is very volatile, and it's valued. We put a value that they give us. We talk to the client right before they're going to file. We do this even with stock accounts, and I think some people have Tesla stock, and that was kind of going up and down, and so we get them to give us the value. I don't look it up, but we get them on the phone and say, we need a value of your account, and then we get it, and then we proceed with the filing. And yeah, I mean, they can figure out the exact minute that a bankruptcy is filed. So, if it is a situation where there's a spike or a drop, I mean, it can be figured out what it was at that very moment.
So is crypto treated differently if you file for Chapter 7 versus Chapter 13 bankruptcy?
Well, in a 7 versus 13, in a 7, you filed the bankruptcy, and if you have this asset, or maybe let's say you're one of these guys or girls that say, hey, I didn't think I had to list it, Mr. Trustee, but now that you ask me, yes, I do have a crypto. You filed Chapter 7, then you're going to lose that asset. The trustee in a Chapter 7 will take assets that are not exempt put them into a bankruptcy estate and distribute them for the benefit of creditors. Whereas in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, you're not as at risk of losing anything. There's not a risk of losing something in a Chapter 13. It's just a question of that value of the cryptocurrency will represent a figure that will determine how much you have to pay creditors back. So if you have $10,000 in cryptocurrency that you cannot fit in a set of exemptions, then you would have to repay at least $10,000 to the unsecured creditors over a period of time. So, you want to keep your crypto, you can file Chapter 13 and just, you keep that $10,000 of crypto and then pay back that $10,000 over a 3 to 5 year period. So it's still beneficial to do so.
So I think you've answered my next question, but so there are exemptions that you can file to exempt your crypto account in bankruptcy.
Yeah, they vary state to state. In Texas, you have the Texas exemptions or the federal. You get to choose which scheme, okay? So the Texas exemptions will not have an exemption for cryptocurrency. However, the federal exemptions do allow a wild card exemption that can be used for cash, okay? So, you could have $14,000 of cryptocurrency, and if you don't need to use that wild card category for cash in the bank or anything else, then you can apply that to crypto, and you could keep, theoretically, $15,000 or so of cryptocurrency and still file Chapter 7.
Well, David, great insight on a really hot topic here. We appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun stuff. I tell you that, just reading the news pops about that current crypto exchange. I think it's going to make a really good Netflix documentary one day.
I think it will. Well, great to see you, David. And that's going to do it for this episode of Ask the Lawyer. My guest has been David Shuster. If you want to ask David about your situation, call the number you see on the screen. Thanks for watching. I'm Tom Mustin for Ask the Lawyers.